Hi there, and welcome to another of these short videos to help you reach your own highest potential. My name is Jeremy Harbinson. I'm author of the book Personal Effectiveness, and for over 35 years I've been working as a trusted advisor to business leaders in many different types of organizations. In these videos, one of the things that I've been sharing is what's called the $1 million idea. It's also known as the rule of 6. Simply where before you go home at night, you look at what you could or should do the next day and you ask yourself the question, if there was just one thing that I could get done tomorrow, what would make the biggest difference? And then you put that as number 1. And then you ask, if there were just 2 things I could get tomorrow, what second thing would make the biggest difference? And you put that as number 2. And you keep going with that until you've got 6 things. And I explain that in a little bit more detail in one of the other videos in this series. But I've found that this very simple technique is not only simple and powerful, it's also very useful as you start to plan ahead in your business. And so a great question to ask yourself is to actually stand back and give yourself the gift of a great question, which is looking ahead over the next 12 months. If there was only one thing in 12 months' time which I could look back and say, I achieved that, what one thing would make the biggest difference to you? To you, to your organization, your career, or whatever. But just to ask that question, the power of clarity and the power of focus, if there was only one thing I could achieve, what would it be? Write that down. We've also talked about the power of translating your goals into writing. And then ask the question, if there was a second thing I could achieve, what would that second thing be? Write that down as number 2. And keep going with that process until you've got a maximum of 6 things. Why 6 things? It's to do with power of focus and also the way your subconscious mind can work. Don't try to focus on too many things at once. But the process doesn't start there. Because having got real clarity about the 6 things for the next year, then ask yourself for each of those 6 things. Take number 1, for example, and ask yourself, that's what I want to achieve this year. What is the single biggest action I could take over the next 3 months, which if I achieved that, would take me a long way towards achieving that in the year? And put that down. Then do the same for item number 2 from your list. And then having got clear on what the key actions that you would like to achieve over the next 3 months are, then bring it back and ask the same question. What one thing could I do over the next month which would make the biggest difference? And ask yourself that. And then if there were 2 things I could achieve over the next month, reducing this down. And then when you start each week, or rather before you finish a week, think about the next week ahead and remind yourself of these lists for the year, the 3 months and the month, and say, given what I am trying to achieve over the next month, what single thing could I achieve over the next week which would make the biggest difference, and put that as number 1. And when you have a kind of plan for the week, then each night before you can go home, you can look at that list and, bearing in mind the 6 things that you're trying to achieve that week, ask yourself tomorrow, what's the most important things I can do? This is very strategic in its way of thinking, and it's very simple. Anybody can do this, but it's very powerful in keeping you goal-orientated and strategic in your thinking. These sorts of hints and tips and regular input is something that I achieve through what are called the Reach For It groups. The Reach For It online monthly mentoring groups are occasions when I can get together with you, I share some hints and tips and power secrets, and then we get a discussion going in the group about how to apply these and people's experiences. You can ask me questions, we can interact together so that I can help you apply these things to your own personal circumstances. And the great news is that you can join one of these groups and sample it for free to decide whether or not it would be right for you, whether it could go on. If you look at the website below this video, you'll see the link and you can get more details about the Reach For It groups, and you can find out how you can avail of this free offer. So I hope that I might actually see you on one of these Reach for It groups. If not, I look forward to seeing you on the next video.